Hi everyone, just here to do a little bit of a video doing some kind of ephemera for this floral journal. So let's just get him out of the way for a minute and show you these. These are two little pockets that I've seen being done on someone else's channel. I can't remember who it was, but if I can find it, I will link it down below. So just, you know, full disclosure, this is not my idea. It's kind of something that I've already seen being done elsewhere. So I should have got prepared, and I'm not prepared because I haven't got the paper that I was going to use. Just 1 second while I rummage through and see if it's in here. I think it will be, because it's it would have been right there. Right, I'm just going to pause for a second while I find it, and then I will be back. There we go. That didn't take long. I've actually found it quite easily. So these little guys are just little pockets, and so you have just a little, let me just show you with this, just a little pocket here, and if you wanted to, you could just, when you stick it in, you could just stick it down the side and you could have stuff in there. This isn't a pocket, but I'm gonna show you the way that I've been doing these. And you could make that pocket if you wanted to. So first of all, you need a bit of square paper. Let's do I'm gonna do this one. I've got all this lovely rosy paper, so pretty. So in the video that I watched, she's actually doing it double-sided. So she had a double-sided piece of paper. I don't have that. So what I've done is I've just taken a stencil and some ink. If you don't have stencils and ink, you could coffee dye. If you've got like white paper on the inside, you could coffee dye. You could do a bit of watercolour paint on there. You could, if you've got some old makeup and a stencil, you could use that. So yeah, there are other alternatives if you don't have all of the stencils and bits and bobs that I'm using. So, and none of this needs to be perfect. I mean, you can take ages and really line it all up, but because we're folding this up, it isn't going to make that much difference, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But there we go. Now we've got a little bit of a design on the inside of there. Let's cover that up. There we go. So, and now we have our design on here and some stenciling here. So what we'll do first of all is fold this in half. Now, I'm not very accurate when it comes to sort of folding things up and cutting things up, but I think with this particular thing, it helps if you can be as accurate as you can be. So we've folded it in half, and then we're going to fold this over. So we're going to turn it over. We're going to fold this up. Like that. And then all we're going to do is to take our scissors, and we're going to cut the triangle off. There we go. And then we're going to turn this over and turn that up. nicely. Now what I tend to do, because of the way I do this, is I trim a bit off here. She didn't actually do that, but I've found that's helpful when it comes to folding it up. So then what we want to do is fold in to here. Now I kind of just sort of guesstimate it at first. I don't fold it down too hard. And then I'm going to go back and fold this back this way. So we're making like a little envelope shape. Okay. So that's all good. Now what I also do, and she did do this, is to just trim off the end there so that it doesn't all bunch up when you fold it. Okay. And then all you're going to do is to push that into there. And might just have to have a little rummage around and get it right. There we go. Let's just try again. Didn't fold that in very well. No, we're doing it the other way. So right, this goes here. Open it up a little bit. Pop that in there. Oh, excuse me, my fire alarm's going to go off. We've got a fire test. Just bear with me while it all... There we go. Just need to do that like that. Now, why isn't this folding in properly? Do you not know? Sometimes it just takes a little bit of rummaging around. There we go. Now we've got it in there properly. Excellent. So that's all folded up. Sorry about the noise. So this will just kind of hang over a little bit sometimes. You can just trim that down if you want to. Undo it a little bit and just trim that down a tiny bit. Okay, there you go. And then tuck that back in again, and you'll have it all folded up quite nice and neatly. Lovely jubbly. Now this has turned out not to be quite straight, so you can either leave it like that, or you can just trim it down so it looks more even. See, when she did it, she had it exactly right, but I'm guessing that's a lot of practice. So that's not too bad. Right, the next thing I like to do is to just give it a little bit of ink to kind of make it look aged a bit. I'm going to get a bit of brown. It's just ordinary brown. I think this is walnut stain. I'm just going to go around the edges. You could round that off if you wanted to. I'm going to go around the edges. Okay, and so that's all done. Now I'm just going to pop a little bit of paper in here so that we can just put a little bit of brown down there, so it just defines the edge a little bit. And then I just fold up the paper a little bit so it slots in this way round, so we can do this edge. That's it. Try and hold it all down so it doesn't move. There we go. And that's all done. Don't have to do that. I just kind of quite like the way that it looks aged. Right, okay, so now all we need to do now is to find our little bit of triangle that is left. And you don't have to do this. It's purely, you know, it's choice. But the way that she did it is that she put this triangle here. So I'm going to just trim down the triangle a little bit. So that is that. Let's just see if we get that done all right. No, that's a bit wonky. So you could measure all this stuff if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So in these ones, what I've done is I've completely stuck that down. And you can do that if you want to, but I thought I'd show you the alternative. And let's just see what we get. What have we done with that? There he is. So I'm just going to ink up the edges. There you go. That's that. Put that away. Like that. And then for this one, I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm just going to go get this ink, this glue moving, if I can. And have it standing upside down. Should have kept it standing upside down. Right, okay, I think that might be moving now. No. It's not. Oh, it's now. Right, okay. We're just going to glue along this edge. And along that edge. Put our lid on. Like that. Right, okay. So now we can just stick this along here. And I'll just leave it to dry for a bit. I won't put anything in there just yet. But just to show you, you can now, you've now got a pocket here, little one, and you've got a pocket here. You could put something in that way if you wanted to. And there's a pocket there. And if you stuck it in, like I said before, you could have a pocket here. So entirely up to you how you use them. But that's just my little envelope style pockets. I love them. I think they're really, really cute. So absolutely, they're such fun to do. I could literally sit here and do loads of these. But they're well worth having a go at, I think, because they are a lot of fun. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will catch up with you all next time. Oh, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff, really would help me out. So thanks ever so much. Bye for now.